Hi everybody. Okay, I was thinking about this today, and I've been thinking about it for a while because I watch soap operas every day now, and I've been watching them every day religiously for 2 years. I mean, pretty much, right? So I was thinking about how there are a couple things you need for a good um, show, movie. It doesn't matter what it is for everybody to kind of universally say that's a good movie. Okay. So I'm going to talk about some of the things I think you need to have a good plot and stuff. And I'm going to circle it back to soaps in a little while and you'll see how. Okay? Um I say you can apply this to movies, TV shows, whatever you want. Okay? Um I know that there are some people out there that say actors make the whole thing. And I can understand why they would think that, but I somewhat disagree. And here's why. Because if the stuff written on the page, if the words written on the page aren't good or aren't don't make sense or aren't connected to past storylines or whatever, then it's not going to come out right. Um, and I can connect this back to soap operas because sometimes they'll say something and I'll be like, they didn't say that. I remember when like okay, for say uh I'm trying to think of a good one here. Okay, I'll go with a female and then I'll go with a couple. Okay. Okay. So right now Sharon and Phyllis are in the storylines heavy. Okay. So you know, and we have a lot of past history that we can draw from because I don't this is my opinion now. And and I should say this before every video, and sometimes I do, sometimes I forget. But everything I say is pretty much my opinion. Okay? It's just an opinion. So take it for whatever. Okay? I say that Sharon and Phyllis never really liked each other because it's just upbringing. Sharon was the person from the wrong side of the tracks, and you know, but she had the what I like to call the people pleasing disease, which is she wanted people to like her, people to at least think she was nice, that kind of thing. And and then when people didn't give her the validation, she didn't take that well. Whereas Phyllis is kind of a fly by the seat of your pants, more adventurous. And I, I don't know much about her past as far as like her parents and stuff, but she reads to me like she came by herself, so she had to be very self sufficient, you know, uh, not depend on anybody, take care of herself, um, not fall. And then when you're like that, you don't fall for anything because you kind of see stuff coming, which can be a good thing and a bad thing. But also, you don't have the need to people please and you kind of do whatever you want and you don't really care what people think, except for maybe a few people. And those people happen to be your family or very close friends or something. So, but for the most part, you don't care. Um, and the reason I say that is because she cares what her kids think. And maybe when it comes down to it, Jack, because you have to remember that for a long time, and I mean a long time, they had a relationship. And Jack was kind of the person who made her, calm down a little bit. But she was the one who gave him excitement. So there was the yin and yang of that, right? Okay. Um, but then also, uh, and I know I might get some flack for this, but I think the reason why Nick was interested in Phyllis, besides being in pain and going through the death and everything, and not knowing how to deal with it. Okay, that's the obvious stuff. The other side of it is I think that Phyllis was fun and he didn't feel like he had rules and he could just be himself. And they started as friends and the friendship caught fire, right? That's what I believe happened. And I believe he regretted the affair or whatever you want to call it with Phyllis, because he didn't want to necessarily cheat on Sharon, but he didn't feel like he could come to her with his feelings about, the death because he felt he had to be strong, like the strong guy thing, you know. So that's what I believe on that one. Okay. So you kind of need people like that to make something work because you can't have all good girls or good guys or nice guys or whatever. You gotta have the good and the bad. But then the thing is I've talked about this part before. You don't want to make the bad girl or the bad guy so irredeemable that when you do try to change him, people don't believe it. You don't want that either. Um, okay, so I said I was going to talk about a couple where there's been some inconsistencies with the storyline, right? Okay. Um, well, maybe because I'm too young, but I don't remember everything that Victor and Nikki have been through. I remember a lot, but I don't remember everything. So sometimes when he says something, like remember when this happened, I'm like, I don't remember that. No, I don't really remember that. So yeah. Uh, well, that's a good example and a bad example because, well, there's also leads into another thing of like, well, if they decide that you're gonna be a couple, like a long term couple, then you will get through anything, and good, bad, or indifferent, you'll get through it. And there have been some bad stuff that the people have gone through, and they come back on the other side of it. Now I gotta be careful, like not careful when I say, but it's kind of weird because I don't want people to like hate me because I talk about Steffi all the time. But I was really hoping that Steffi was gonna just lose it and like leave Finn because I can't explain it to you. But there are some characters that I just want them to lose everything and feel what that feels like to lose everything. Because then maybe they'll have some gratitude or something. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I've been thinking about that a while because I'm like, I was all prepared for she was going to lose her shit. And then I was prepared for that. And then she goes, no, it's okay, I understand. I'm like, what? You, Steffi Forrester, Miss I know better than everybody on the planet, is okay with your husband having a child from someone else and from someone else, and the child is someone who tried to kidnap you and unalive you, and you're fine with that? Okay then. Color me confused. Uh, maybe I'm waiting for a cat fight. I don't know. Oh, okay, I'm gonna make another video real quick because I had some thoughts about Hope and Daphne, but yeah, I gotta make a separate video for that. All right, bye everybody.